Hello everyone, my name is Milia. Welcome to my channel. It's time for the third update for my Pandos eyeshadows. This project was created by Alexandra Sjösten. I will have her linked down below. The idea of this project is to randomize eyeshadows from your entire collection and try to pan on them. I'm working on 5 shadows at a time, and I can either heat pan or use them 15 times to be able to roll them out. And we have some rollouts this month. So let's jump right into the shadows. The 2 shadows that have been in since the beginning, we'll start off with those. The first one coming from the Makeup Revolution Affinity palette, and it is the shade Joy, which is this one. I have hit major pan on it. I used it once since the last update. The dip was apparently pretty wide because I hit so much pan, but I only used it one time since the last update. I knew I was close, but I didn't know I was that close. But we have a pan and it's big. It's a big pan. I used it a total of 10 times in this project to hit pan on it, but that's our first rollout shadow. The second shadow that has been in since the beginning comes from the BH Cosmetics Crystal Zodiac palette, and it is the shade Citrine in the shimmer formula. So it is this yellow shadow. I was at 8 uses last month, and I used it 7 more times, which means that I have hit my 15 use goal on this shadow, and we will be rolling it out. I knew I wouldn't hit pan on this because obviously it's a baked shadow, but it's pretty flat. Like, I don't know if you will be able to see that, but it's pretty flat, so that's great, but we can roll that out as well. Now, the 3 shadows that are staying in the project. The first one comes from the I'll Be There For You palette by Makeup Revolution and Friends, and I'm working on the shade Share Food, which is just the black shadow. I do have a dip in there. I use it in my brows occasionally. Like, whenever I use it in my eyebrows. I have, although, just used it once this month for a total of 4 uses, so yeah, nothing much to say about that. It's just a black shadow. Last month we rolled in 2 shadows. The first one came from the lovely Cosmetics Pastel Tropics palette, and we rolled in the shade 9, which is just the most boring shadow, really, out of the entire palette, pretty much. It's just a brown crease shade. I have used it 3 times this month, so not a whole lot, but you know, it's just a crease shadow. It's just a brown shade. Pretty boring, but yeah. I have no idea how deep those pans are because I've never heat pan. This is my only palette from them, and as you probably can tell, I don't have pan in it. So I don't know how deep they are, but yeah. And the other shadow that we rolled in last month also comes from Makeup Revolution, and it's from the Unconditional Love palette, and it is the shade Proposal, which is this shadow right here, aka the only shadow in the palette that I have used, and I have used that twice this month. So not a lot, again, but At least I've used it, right? So I have 2 shadows rolling out and 3 shadows staying in. So we can roll in 2 new shadows. And I will pull up my Pretty Random app. I have numbers 1 through 1097 in my randomizer, and we will shake. 734 is our first number, and that is 734 is the shade White Teeth from the Ross palette. And then the second shadow will be 412, which will be the shade Love from the Affinity palette. Okay, so I will go get the Ross palette and I will be back to share the shadows. I'm back with my shadows. I also swatched out the shades. These are the ones rolling out. This is Citrine, Shimmer, and this is Joy. And this is Share Food. This is the shade 9 from the Pastel Tropics palette. And this is the shade Proposal from the Unconditional Love palette. So these are the ones staying in. I also got my new shadows. I haven't looked at them, so let's look at them together. First off, we have the Affinity palette, which Joy was from, and we have the shade Love. Oh, which is this shadow right here, like this kind of yellowy gold shade. Interesting, that's not a shade that I would have expected Love to be, but it's just a pale yellow gold shadow. So we'll see with that. And then we have the shade White Teeth from the Ross palette, also from Makeup Revolution, and that is another shimmer shade. It's this shade right here. So it's just like a shimmery brown color. I don't think I've ever used this shade. The Makeup Revolution shimmers aren't my favorite, because they could be more shimmery. But this is my color story for spring. It's very, very neutral and pretty boring, to be honest. But this is my color story anyway. So I'm gonna try to heat pan on these. So we'll see how that goes. I think I will have pan on Share Food for next update, but we'll see. The rest of them, I'm not sure. I seem to be better at panning mattes than shimmers, so we'll see. But anyways, that is my third update for my Pandas eyeshadows. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below so you don't miss out on my future updates for this project and the many other projects I'm doing on my channel. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.